Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve perfect lagging or insulation cuts using specific tools. And the one we're going to be using is the one from Pipelagger Pro. This is in theory an adjustable mitre tool, which allows you to slide it over the insulation and cut it to, you got your inside edges of your T's, so like the points, and then we got perfect 90-degree bends, and also you got your 22.5, which is for long radius bends. I'll show you that in a different video, but in this one it's mainly going to be 90 degrees, your T sections, and also the intersection ones like that to make it look super cool. So when you cut it perfectly, you don't need to use tape or anything like that, or cable ties. It holds on there lovely. And yeah, I think if you're going to spend all the time on your copper work with all your soldering and your clips and stuff, why not make sure that you get the insulation to match? So the quick description of what you get in the kit: you get an adjustable mitre tool like this. These bolts are normally longer, but I trimmed them down, and these go up all the way up to, I think it's 85 mil in your total outside diameter, and 33 millimeters on your on your smallest side. So for me, I mainly do 15 millimeters and 22, and I normally cut in 13 mil thickness. So obviously you got to make sure that you get your 15 mil and then a 13 mil thickness either side of that. And yeah, it should be good. I'm pretty sure this goes all the way down to the 9 millimeters. All you have to do is just undo some of the bolts, get that closer together, and you're good to go. So yeah, like I said, I'm mainly domestic, so I do 15, 22, and I cut off these just to make it a little bit more ergonomic in my hand. I didn't really want those extra bolts. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use this, and obviously we're going to need something to cut the insulation with, and what they have is a folding blade. So this basically just pushes down on the catch, blade comes out, and you can snap it back in. So if you want to put this in your tool bag or anything like that, there's no risk of having a blade open. And then obviously to sharpen it, they also do a sharpener as well. Now this thing's really good. I actually keep a spare one of these in my kitchen cupboard, in all the cutlery, so I can sharpen up all my knives. So yeah, let's get this down, stripped down, put it down on the bench, and show you exactly how to achieve something like this. So the first thing I like to do whenever I use the blade like this is give it a quick few passes on the sharpener, and that allows us to cut the joints super clean. Right, that's all that's needed. So the first piece we're going to do is this left hand side vertical. So this is the lagging that we're using. It's 13 mil, it's got a split through the middle, and what we want to do is mark our total length first, which is about here, and I'll just slice it off. Okay, we'll hover it up with the cut slit to the back. Just makes things 10 times easier and looks nicer to line everything up. And we'll mark our center. Now the jig, I like to use it for different reference points. So obviously we've got the cut to the back, and then what you want to do is slide this up, and then the cut, you want to line it up with this point, and then that makes sure that every single time we make a cut, the slit is always going to be at the back. So we'll just line this up in the middle like that. So we've got a mark here with roughly the middle point here. That should be fine. One little quick mark upon here, and we've got a stop when we cut through, so that stops. And then you need to be careful because the blade will come towards you, but you should be able just to cut up to it, so you can see it like that. So this is the T-piece that comes out, and you're left with something like this. Cut at the back, and we should be able to put that over the top, and that should line up exactly where we want it. There we go. Great start so far. Like I said, cut in the middle, everything all lines up. So we're going to do the hardest part next, which is this long piece, and then obviously we want to do a internal for the T, and that is done using this point part here. So if we get our length, and then what we want to do, slide it over the top, and then line that T-piece. What I want to do is just have a little bit of an overhang, and then you just want to hold it with a bit of firm pressure, and we just want to continue and cut straight the way through. And then flip it over. and you should be left with a nice sharp point. So once you have this, you want to insert it in the gap, and then with a pen you want to mark each individual center mark of the pipes. So this is a bit awkward for me, but I'm going to guess roughly about here and here, and then about there. And I'm going to cut them off so we're not dealing with too much. So I'm going to cut them off about there, and we'll just go straight through with a blade, like a knife through butter. Right, I'm just going to double check this because I had other pieces touching other bits in my way. So we've got 1, 2, 3. It's not too bad, I don't think. Let me have a little look on the marker. That could do with being a little bit over. And that one, and that one. Right, I'm fairly happy with that. So we're going to do 2 T sections and then a 90-degree slit on there. So back in the cutter, and we want to line them up. And then because we're blanked off here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look right on this point section where it's lining up with the slit through on the insulation, which it is. Push it towards that center mark, and then go ahead and cut your T's. So I've got 1. There's 1 cut, and then you can just push him all the way through to get the next one, which is about here. Make sure you're lined up and cut through. I want to take your time. You don't want that blade going where it shouldn't be. And then because we got a 90-degree, so we got the 2 slits for the T, so that go like that. And then we got this 90-degree. So we're looking for this part here, because obviously we want to go in this direction and have the long piece sticking out. As we pull it through, we just have to simply line it up again. And we're doing about here with a mark. Make sure that we're on the slit, which we are there. I think that's pretty good. And then we just want to cut all the way home, all the way through. So watch your fingers, keep them either side, and it's just a pass straight through. Just like that. We should be able to just pull that away, and we're left with point, 2 T's, and a 90-degree. So we'll just put this over the top. That should fit just like that. So that one's pretty good, that one's pretty good, and I think that one should be alright. So done the hardest part. Now we are going to do this 90-degree here because that's the next hardest. These 2 in the middle, pretty simple. What I like to do for the 90-degree is we're going to overcut it a little bit because I don't want to be playing around with all this in my hand. So we'll just give this a slice. Now with the cut facing at the back, I'll just take this intersection out. We need to make sure that we get this cut in the right way. So if that goes like this and gets sliced all the way through, that's going to be in the wrong position. We want it to look like this. We've got the long piece here matching there. So with the slit at the back, we'll just shove him all the way through, line that slit up as normal, flip him round, and we'll get him close to the edge. And I mean this here close to about there. Like I said, we have allowed a little bit extra, and then we'll just cut the other piece to suit. So that would be like that. Once again, firm pressure, and we'll cut all the way through. So our slits at the back, and that should fit like that. Now to get the length, what you want to do is just hover this long piece here, because that's obviously where that's going to meet up, and then go ahead and mark the vertical. I'm going to give it a touch a little bit longer just so it pushes up inside against the clip. You can put this in the jig and cut the 90, but I think we can do this one by eye. You start getting these fraily little bits, it's probably because the blade needs to be sharpened. Insulation does blunt the blades quite quick. I don't know how, but it does. There we go, look at that. Perfect 90 degree, nice and buttered up. So just got these two sections here to do now. And I will use this piece. We have got a little sticker on it. Can I be bothered to get that off? You gonna come off? So we'll just do this T section here. So same again before with the point on this piece. All you really need to do is put them into the jig, measure at that point, allow a little bit of excess, depending on how long you've cut it. Can you remember whether we've left enough or not? I think so. So that goes through. And that piece. Push them in, allow a little bit more. There we go, there's that piece done. And I've just had to go to another length, so I'm just going to cut this roughly. And cut in there. Like I said, always I'll allow a little bit of wiggle room. With the T's, make sure you've got a little bit of an overhang. And I'm going to give this a couple more passes on the sharpener. There we go. Nice firm pressure. And we'll just do our final cut. And there we go, you're finished with something that looks like this, which I think is beautiful. Now, I managed to make this look even better because I'm using these pipe clips. So these are clips from EcoClip, and they allow me to get perfect spacings every single time. They're really good. They come on a band, and also you can use them singly if you don't want to use them like this, but I just find them so much better for making sure that all your pipe work stays nice and neat. So that was the Pipelagger Pro. So next time that you want to do some insulation, why don't you grab yourself a tool, and yeah, then you can get your cuts looking like this. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can get this from. It's pretty much all over Amazon, but yeah, why don't you try it out? So if you like today's plumbing video, please give it a like, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one.